Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some what? Viewer and parental discretion is advised. From galaxies far, far away to universes close to home, this is Diecast Norb's Galactic Hooligan, and I am really hoping that each and every one of you are actually going out and enjoying Rise of the Beast. I haven't seen it myself yet or anything like that, but I will see it between the 1 to 3.5 week timeline that I've actually told everyone to actually not talk about it for anything, you know, because I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. I don't want any spoilers. I'm even trying to avoid watching some of the trailers to actually keep myself away from spoiling the movie. This is how dedicated I am. I love trailers too. I love freaking trailers, you know, and I really love being able to see like a little bit of the movie and everything like that before I actually see the movie. Sometimes I actually spoil the whole damn thing, but this time I'm making sure that I don't see anything of Transformers Rise of the Beast because I'm dying to see it. I'm dying to see it as much as I'm actually dying to see Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, you know? So one of them is actually going to win. I think it's actually going to be Transformers this time because we've actually been all waiting for the longest time. I'm actually hearing mixed reviews somewhat, but most of it is actually going on the positive spin of this movie. So I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. But until then, I'm actually slaking my hunger with a little bit of Rise of the Beast action from our figures. Today I actually got Rise of the Beast Airazor right in the mail to me and everything. This one's actually coming from Amazon. No damage to the box or anything like that whatsoever, which I'm actually surprised about. So good on you, Amazon. So we're actually going to check this last out and appreciate it for each and every one of you who have actually joined me today. If you don't mind, for anybody new who's actually coming over to us today, I'd love for you to hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification buttons. Also, share me around. I really appreciate more exposure. Each and every one of you who've actually been loyal followers of me and everything, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. So let's take a look at this amazing Falcon as we actually enter the this new universe of Rise of the Beast. I am going to be doing something different today. I actually got a new tripod from Amazon today and everything, and I'm actually trying to take you right into the action. Today, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of Airazor, and first, let's take a look at this box over here. This box art is actually really extraordinary. It looks like it's actually taken directly from the movie, and that is a really beautiful Falcon mode that we actually have going on here. I really love everything in here. I really literally love everything in here. Like that wingspan right over there, the beautiful feathering that's actually going on in here and everything. So Airazor is actually looking pretty complete and everything. Look at her. She is gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of, did you guys ever see Clash of the Titans? And that one character, she was like an owl that was a robot called Obo, I think it was. But that's what this actually kind of reminds me of, except more vicious, you know? We actually have Airazor coming in for the kill. To kill! That's what she's there for. You know, she looks really, really awesome. I really love this. Back of the box actually has quite a bit of a difference here and everything like that. It looks like a lot of the places over here are actually painted in brown. In which case, usually I kind of feel as though Hasbro actually just usually wants to kind of like show us what it would actually look like if they cared. But you know what? I don't think this looks as good as, say, what we actually got over here in this golden goddess here and everything like that, who is just phenomenal. You know, like, I don't really know if she's actually going to follow along in that whole entire thing with the gold plastic syndrome and everything like that. But let me tell you something, like, this character is just really amazing. I am loving that wingspan over there. That wingspan is so freaking impressive. And to think, I was really going to skip this figure. I was like so into skipping this figure altogether, and I'm glad I didn't. I actually kind of like saw her on Amazon for like 19 bucks and everything like that, and that was actually enough for me to say, maybe, you know? So, but I'm actually glad I picked her up, because that falcon, like, look at this falcon's head. Let's give you a good close look at this. And daringness over here and everything, like, you know, like, I love all the feathering that's actually going on here and everything. The mouth actually does open and close and everything, although mine is actually kind of loose, but when you actually clip that in, it kind of like clips in, and then when you actually open it right over here, it actually does open full to the full value. So that's actually really nice. Those really amazing, like, metallic green eyes there are actually really, really amazing too. The feathering over here is actually great, and everybody don't mind the hammering that's actually going on in the background or anything like that. You know, we actually have some work going on in our house right now, but the show must always go on, you know? So here we go, and look at this. I like the spinal column that's actually going on over here and everything. The spinal column actually kind of like looks to me as though it's actually kind of like all like ratcheted gears. It's all ratcheted gears that's actually going on in the background and everything like that, with the feathering that's actually in here. So you actually have like a good amount of biomechanical features that's actually going on throughout the whole entire thing. You actually have missiles that are actually going on the bottom here and everything like that. This is actually where her head is actually supposed to go. If you know anything about Kingdom Airazor, you know this actually borrows heavily from that figure and everything like that, but does things a lot more dynamically and everything. You know, I really like this. I was really going to skip this figure. I was really, really going to skip this figure altogether and everything, but she came out so much better than I thought she would have. Those, hold on, let me just show you these talons over here. Those are talons that can kill. Look at this. This is actually so awesome. Like, the way these things are actually done in that bright silver and everything, I really think that's actually so super impressive, you know? And there we are, and I love the quality of this green over here. One thing that I think would have actually been great for this figure is if we actually had like more paint over here also on like the ends of these parts of the feathers and everything. I think that would have actually made for a more dynamic Airazor, but she just looks great. I really love the fact that they didn't actually do this over here and everything like that, although the green and this brown over here and everything would have actually kind of like made a lot more difference and everything like that. I think that's actually really striking. But I really love this, like all of this, just the features of gold that's actually in here. It's actually just very, very choice. I really love it. For comparison, I'm going to give you Airazor and Airazor and Poindexter. Airazor and her mate Cheetor, which is actually really making me feel like I really need to go off and find the Studio Series version of Cheetor. Airazor and Metal Hulk. And our last comparison is Airazor with Airazor, and here we go, right over here. This is the comparison that you could add, that you actually definitely need in your life and everything, because I really think that this was actually done in such a dynamic sense. It kind of makes you think that this version of Airazor actually went over to Vector Sigma and decided to like get the upgrade and everything, and this is what we actually came up with, which is so awesome. And this actually becomes this one actually is so much bigger than this version of Airazor altogether. You can actually tell by the wingspans and everything altogether. Just let me bring the camera out just a little bit and everything like that, so you can actually appreciate exactly how much more devastating this version of Airazor actually is and everything. Because like, look at that. Even down to like the feeties here and everything like that. Like, let me show you these things all together. These talons are just incredible. just what they actually did with like making these super industrial talons here and everything like that. It's just really, really incredible what like a little bit of retailing and upscaling can actually do for a figure and everything, you know? Just very, very cool. Transforming Airazor is pretty much what you would expect if you actually already had the Kingdom mold. But one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is I was actually just looking at this photo right over here of the Falcon's neck. I really wish that they were actually able to replicate that over here with like maybe some of the softer plastics and everything that we've actually seen Transformers actually get over the seasons. Because I think it would have actually been just the right thing to add onto this piece altogether and everything. I don't know exactly how they'd actually be able to like make it work or anything like that. They might have that. I think that they would have actually been able to like make a neck extension to actually go onto the molding and everything like that altogether, because I think that would have actually sold this a lot more than where it is right now. Just the elongated neck altogether on this version of Airazor right here. Just let me clear that up for everybody over there. Yeah, just the elongated neck on Airazor over here just makes me feel that that's the only portion that's actually missing off of this version of Airazor, which is actually kind of a shame, because like it would be great if you could actually replicate exactly what you actually see on screen into toy form and everything, you know. But that's actually not really that much of a miss on this one or anything like that. I still want to get the alternate mainline version of this, only because I thought she actually did this so much better. And like when you actually go into robot mode, she actually keeps the feminine qualities that she's actually supposed to have in this. This one actually kind of like makes me feel as though she's actually kind of like more like a shogun warrior, more like a Greek goddess or something like that. That's actually kind of like been brought to life and everything like that, complete with armor and everything, you know. Or maybe she actually came from like Odin's private stock of adventurers and everything like that. You know what I mean? Because you'll actually see what I'm actually talking about. Transforming her, you just want to unclip the legs right over here and here, elongate them, bring them down. We'll actually lift the feathers right over here in the back, and just let me clear up my camera for you here. We'll actually do a 180 right on the waist, a 180 right over here on her legs, and do the same thing over here. There's a lot of twisted and turning that's actually going on in the bottom half of her. And then there we go. That's the bottom half done. You don't have to remove these missiles or anything, because as we actually had on the original version of Airazor, where you actually kind of like place them right on the legs. We don't actually have the same thing going over here or anything like that, where you actually had like a 5mm peg over here or anything like that to actually clip those in. So once you actually do that, just like remove the arms. They actually kind of like clip in the same way. We'll move the hand down, and over here I'm just going to maneuver the missile down to like the front end here of her hands, and over here. Also on this version of Airazor, we also don't have the we also don't have the shoulder panels that kind of like shift up or anything like that to make this kind of design or anything like that. And that's another shame and everything like that. I think that we could have actually had something where that actually shifts up, but with this kind of like with this kind of dense plastic and everything like that, it would have actually been amazing, you know. Anyway, let's remove the back right over here and everything and unclip it, and right there you'll actually see her head. We'll actually bring this all the way down, and then just like on the other version of Airazor, and remember, just gingerly just bring this down and everything. It's like a little tough to actually bring it down and everything like that. I think they tightened up the joints on this marvelously. There we go. And we'll actually do this whole thing and then make sure, let's see, I think, no, there isn't a clip that actually goes in. Oh, actually, there is. You can actually clip this in. For my version of Airazor, it doesn't really work as well or anything like that, but that's why you actually have the back. So just go over here, and then we'll move all of this in here. There are actually going to be a couple of slots that are actually right on the back. Excuse me. There are a couple of slots that are right on the back over here and everything, where you can actually just like peg that in. There we go. And from here, we'll actually come over here and then clip this right in here. And then just maneuver the wings in any way you actually want. Now this one actually still pegs the same way that it actually did before. So like just joint the wings and then peg them right in the back over here. And then bring that down. And then do the same thing on the other side. Through the magic of video technology, there we go with Airazor. I didn't have any problems putting her together. I didn't have it, you know, like, yeah. Anyway, look at this. This is really just like a great bot altogether. I love her so much. She's just like really, really cool. One thing that I'm actually going to say that might not make her as cool is that this actually separates a little bit more than I'd actually like it to and everything. I kind of feel as though there should actually be a little bit more stabilization in there or something. And this would have actually been a great place for where those plastic pieces that could have actually been jointed over here would have actually worked out and everything like that, because you could have actually had the elongation of the neck, and then push everything in here, and then that could have actually made up where all of this actually connected and everything like that, giving her a better look for her body and everything like that altogether, you know? I think that a lot of those things could have actually been planned out a little bit better, but she is actually pretty cool. I really like everything that's actually going on in here. The feathering itself kind of like really just makes me think Roman army or something, or kind of makes me think Greek imperialism and that sort of thing, you know? It's just very, very cool. Very like, look at that. Even the wings are in the back here and everything are, there's like a lot of that there is a lot of inspiration that they're actually getting over here from like what we actually had with like maybe the Roman Empire or something like that. I think, you know, like look at that face. That face actually kind of like makes me think Roman Empire, like Roman warrior or something like that altogether, you know, especially with the way the nose is actually done and everything, you know, those green eyes are actually still prominent right there and everything, and that's actually really, really cool. Let's just go down. Love like the gold tone and everything that's actually going on over here and everything. And one thing that I'm actually really like wondering about also is the longevity of this figure, because there is a hella lot of gold plastic on this and everything like that. So again, are we actually going to fall into gold plastic syndrome on this and everything? I really hope that they actually figured out a way to like actually make like all these bronze and gold pieces actually kind of like work, instead of like making them brittle over time or anything, you know, like that would actually be great. This area is actually really brilliant. I love like the design work that's actually going on in here. Very cool. Like I love everything in here and everything. Even the feathering that's actually going on in here also and everything is just really, really good. Just good stuff going on through here. Down to the toes over here. One thing I kind of like think also is that I kind of wish we actually had that transformation that we actually had in Optimus Primal, where the feet of the robot actually kind of like conjoin and then are able to be brought into like maybe the shins or the calf and everything like that. I kind of wish we had like a little bit more conversion on these talons in the back and everything, you know? But these are actually really cool. And I don't have an issue with both of them doing what they actually do. In fact, like this is actually still a cool look anyway and everything like that, with 3 talons in the back and everything. That's actually still a cool look. It's just that I kind of wish that a little bit more were actually done over there and everything like that to make it more of a complete bot and everything altogether, you know? But she's very cool. Articulation, she actually does have like a slight bend on her. She does have like a slight turn on her waist right over here and everything. She actually like, you can actually extend the body out a little bit more, and she actually does have a 360. Also, if you actually decided to unclip this piece right over here, I'm sure maybe you can actually get like, yeah, there you go. If you unclip it in the back, you can actually get more of a range there and everything like that. Although you could actually be going against the beak of the Falcon itself and everything like that, just destroying like the paint over there and everything too. You actually have a 360 right, well actually, maybe not. Yeah, you actually have a right and left and everything like that, not really a 360, even if you actually move this. The back over here, you're not really getting a full range, and her chin is actually kind of like really just bumping against like a couple of like pieces right over here that are actually adjacent right on her shoulders. With her chin, you're actually kind of like not able to do the full range or anything like that, you know, because her chin is actually pretty powerful on this and everything, you know, it's very prominent. So there we go. We actually have a good arm raise and everything like that. You're not really going to be able to get like the full 360 or anything like that, just based on the fact that her wings are actually just like right there in the back and everything like that, and they're not really going to let you go like too far out or anything like that unless you manipulated a few things on the plastic. You actually have a 360 right over here, right under her bicep. You actually have an elbow bend. You actually have a bend over here on her wrist due to transformation. You have a leg out just like that. You actually have a little bit of range over here and everything, depending on whether or not you move things out of the way and everything. You actually have a good kung fu kick right over here, so that's actually really nice. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. We actually have a 360 on her upper thigh. You actually have a good knee bend right over here, also due to transformation, but that's actually really, really cool. You also have the ankle bend. You have a rotation on the ankle right here. You have another thing right over here where you could actually use her like bird leg and everything like that to get you a little bit more articulation and everything if you like it. You have dorsey, you have flexion. So you have everything going on in here, plus you also have the wings that actually can be manipulated in any way you actually want to and everything like that. So like all around, she actually has just great articulation all over. She comes with these two missiles that are actually right here and everything, and you can actually kind of like take them off and everything all together. They're very, very tight and everything. You can actually kind of like even put them in her hands to like actually use them as blasters and everything. So they're very cool. They're actually kind of like good and multifunctional and everything. And she actually really does come out to be like just a really great bot. For comparisons, Airazor and Metal Bulk, Airazor and RC, Airazor and Wheeljack, Airazor and Mainline Cheetor, and Airazor and Airazor. And just looking at these two for the stark differences and the stark similarities and everything between both, it's actually really interesting to see exactly what you actually have when you actually have a figure about like they're actually pretty much the same engineering, just like the new Airazor is actually like a kind of like supersized just a little bit, you know, but what she actually does supersize in is just more of the quality and everything like that that actually goes on into her and everything. There we go. She's like a little bit more she's a lot taller actually than the older version of Airazor, and that actually looks pretty nice. She's a bigger size deluxe, you know, and yeah, like she like really just like towers over Airazor by about 2 heads actually, you know, so really just like a great figure altogether. Airazor really is a great bot. There are just only a few things that I would actually do to tweak her altogether and everything, but like really just not a whole lot or anything like that. Like she actually does really become a lot better for the price and everything like that. Like she is just really stunning. Like her plastic work is actually pretty quality and everything. Paint work is actually pretty quality too. I'm actually really surprised that I didn't see like what we actually had in the Hasbro box and kind of say, wow, I wish we actually had that. That's cool, you know? Like this actually came out a lot better than what we actually had on the box art. And I'm going to give you final thoughts in just a moment. I know a lot of you have this version of Airazor, but hear me out. I was really surprised with this version of Airazor. Oh, one thing I actually forgot to mention. Did you actually see this? There's a Maximal brand right on her arm. That's great. You know, and I really love it when they can actually put like a smaller brand on a figure. I kind of wish that they actually put it on the top of her head right over here in the middle of her chest. But it is what it is, and it actually makes a great tattoo and everything like that for the person who's actually really into Maximals. So this is actually really great. Is she worth the grab? I think that she's actually awesome. I really highly recommend her, actually. She came out to be a huge surprise, and this is actually coming from a person who actually has a few types of the same figure and everything all together. Like, I actually have the Airazor, I had the Silverbolt. Like, I actually thought that they were probably like the only ones I was actually going to get. I was totally going to skip over this, but since I was actually tempted with that $19.99 on Amazon and everything, I kind of figured that why not? You know, try her out for a bit and everything, see if I like her. And man, am I glad that I actually picked this up. She is stunning, is actually a good word for her and everything. She's actually really awesome. I'm actually glad that I picked it, and I'm sure you'll actually be glad that you picked her too. And that is it for me. I really hope that you actually had a good time checking out Airazor with me, because I was actually kind of like I said before, I was really thinking about skipping her over and everything, and every time I keep on thinking about skipping something over, I actually become really impressed, you know? I was actually really impressed with the Cheetor. Like, when we actually got this guy in and everything, I was actually really impressed with, like, how good this guy actually is and everything, you know? And with, like, a little bit of tightening and a little bit of retooling and everything, I'm pretty sure the others will actually be just as great as Cheetor was. But with Airazor, right out the box, she actually came out pretty nice. I'm actually really happy I picked her up and everything, you know? If you haven't gotten her already, I really think that she's actually kind of like worth it and everything altogether, you know, like she's actually got good quality. My only complaint will probably be the gold plastic, even though I'm actually jazzed about the gold plastic. We've actually, you fooled me once before, Hasbro, you fooled me once before. I'm really just like wondering if we're actually going to find like the same thing with the diciness and like the easily break apart ability of what we actually get with gold plastic and everything, you know, because like she is very golden. So I'm actually imagining her becoming like Starscream once Galvatron actually hits her with his cannon and everything, you know what I mean? But let's see what happens. Time will tell, you know? But that's it for me. I really appreciate each and every one of you coming in today once again to actually join me on my trip through nerddom. I really appreciate each and every one of you. 655 strong. Let's get over to 700 and then 7 billion. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, the mental health check. Please make sure that you are treating yourselves and everyone around you with kindness and tenderness and care. Make sure you actually treat each other like gold. Like gold! Right? Also, make sure that you tune in next time, because then you'll actually hear me say stuff like, and when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I will definitely talk to you all soon.